Hawaii. And join me, Auntie Ilona, with our special guest, Mr. Lito Ilagan, one of the very active Filipino community leaders. And he's here. He's been working in different multinational companies in finance and technology like World Bank and IBM, and he's a vice president of the Filipino organization for 4 years, and he's also the chairman of the Parish Pastoral Council and the Global Solidarity Ministry of St. Michael's Church. So he's here with us today because he's going to share with us some great news and stories, everything Filipino, and of course, little Hawaii too. And speaking of Filipinos, we're still number 2 in the recent figures came out from the U.S. Census. And according to this report, Filipinos and part Filipinos now make up the second largest racial group in Hawaii. And so that is something to be proud of, especially true with our younger generation who is now carrying a stronger sense of cultural identity. So I wanted to start, Lito. I can call you Lito?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. So share with us how you started, how you worked and really worked hard as a Filipino, and how the family, came about, like being a Filipino Hawaii family.
Aloha, I am Angelito Ilagan. They call me Lito for short.
Nice.
And I was born in San Pablo City in the Philippines. And I went to school in Manila, the Ateneo de Manila University. Then after my college years, I worked for a Xavier School. I taught for 2 years in math and physics. And then I transferred to IBM Philippines. From IBM Philippines, I worked for 2 years for a subsidiary of the Manila Electric Company. And from there, I was hired by the World Bank in Washington, D.C. Now, one of the things that, one of the benefits of the World Bank for what they call expatriate staff is to be able to go back home every other year, with the whole family. And so, during our trips from the East Coast to the Philippines, we break our trips here in Hawaii. So we went to different islands whenever we go on home leave, and we come to love these islands. Okay? And finally, in 2004, when I retired, we decided to look for a residence here in Hawaii, and we found a place in Poland. So we left our children in the East Coast. One is in Maryland, and the other one is in Toronto, in Canada. My children and grandchildren visit us every once in a while.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
So was the transition, how would you describe that? I mean, from the mainland to Hawaii, it's a commerce setting, there's a laid-back attitude, there's not much mall around. So, and you're far from your family. So how did you finally say, okay, this is my home?
I guess it was fate, okay? On my first day here, I went to St. Michael's Church, and I figured out the priest who said the Mass was a Filipino. So I approached him and requested him if he could bless the house that we bought, and said yes. And then when he learned that I was Filipino, he said, could you attend a Filipino meeting here at church? So I got started with that. Okay? And I found out that the priest wanted to have a monthly Filipino Mass, and he wanted to organize, somebody to organize it. So after a couple of meetings, he asked me to make it happen. So then I started to know more Filipinos in the community. I met Dr. Sally Henyo, who then invited me. He was the president of the Filipino organization of Kona, and he invited me to join their meeting. And it so happened that on that first meeting, they had an election for vice president, and somebody nominated me, and I got elected as vice president. Now, during his term, it was, I believe, in 2006 that it was the 100th year of Filipinos here in Hawaii. So there was a big preparation that we need to do for the centennial. Okay. So I got more and more involved with the Filipino community. The Filipino organization initially was focused more on its social activities. It's like, a fun club. And so I told Dr. Henyo to see if we can transform it into a charitable organization. And he agreed, and so I worked on applying with Internal Revenue Service for accreditation as a 501c3 organization. So we were able to get that. And so our fundraising were then geared towards scholarship in Kona, and also some charitable help to the Philippines.
I just want to let you know, Dr. Peña is really, one of the great Filipino leaders here too in our community. So with that, I wanted to take a break, and we'll be right back. We still have a few stuff to talk about.
Okay.
Okay, Lito, I wanted to ask you, I'm really, really interested about what you were talking about, the scholarships and the organization that kind of sprouted from the main organization. So tell us about that.
Well, as I mentioned, I went to St. Michael's, right? St. Michael's Church, and after a few months, when they learned that I am involved with the Filipino organization of Kona, the pastor asked me if I could lead the community organizing ministry, and see if I can gather the Filipinos to help at the friendly place, to be able to provide a meal once a week for St. Michael's. Okay, so St. Michael's was assigned every Tuesday to serve a meal, a lunch at friendly place. And so I said, okay, fine, I'll look for people who can cook. And so every second Tuesday is our turn, and since 2004 until now, we do
I'm pretty sure you didn't have a hard time looking for a cook, because a lot of Filipinos love to cook.
Well,
am I right?
There are some who love to cook.
There are some,
okay,
because I am one of them.
One of the challenges is that although many would like to help, Filipinos, I found out, are working 2-3 jobs. Okay, and so they don't have the time. Okay, they would love to help, but they don't have the time. Okay, and so that's what started me into the community. So until now, I'm working with the Friendly Place, serving meals every second Tuesday. And then Dr. Henyo said he's willing to help financially in the feeding of the homeless on Fridays, if I can find people to cook. So I look for people to cook, and we are serving, the Filipinos are serving every last 2 Fridays of the month at the Friendly Place. So we serve about 50 to 70 people at Friendly Place. Okay. My other involvement is in the church is the Global Solidarity Ministry. One of the things that the Catholic Church teaches us is we should go beyond our national boundaries and help other poor people in other countries. So again, the pastor asked me to lead the Global Solidarity Ministry, and I think in the entire diocese, we are the only one having an active Global Solidarity Ministry. So we help Kenya. There is a town called Miani, which is on the mountains, and they don't have water. And they have to go, people have to go down, walk 2 miles down the mountain, draw water from this river, which is not safe, and then they boil and drink the water. So we help them drill a well, and this again with the help of the parishioners. Okay, we raised funds, and the people of Miami are now able to have some drinking water.
Nice.
Okay. The other country we help, of course, is our Philippines.
Of course, our very own.
Yes. So we raised money to help the one congregation. It's the Mary Queen of Heaven missionaries. These nuns are trying to rehabilitate the victims of prostitution and human trafficking in the Philippines. So we help those. And another group is the scavengers in a dump site called Payatas. This dump site is populated by so many people who live on less than $2 a day, scavenging the solid waste disposed in that area. So we help them, and we provide on Christmas time some gift bags for these residents.
And may I ask you, do you have anything like long term, like a source of livelihood for people, you know, making them, you know, sometimes we just don't give them fish, we also teach them how to fish.
Yes.
Remember the saying?
Yes. The one in the project in Payatas, we were able, with the help of one of the parishioners, his name is Mr. Richard Leander. He's married to a Filipina, and when I told him about this, he visited the place in the Philippines, and he bought a small property, a piece of land in Payatas, and we raised funds to build a training center. So now the at-risk youth are being trained on things like massage training, culinary arts, things like this for livelihood. Okay. I am also involved, not here, but I'm still affiliated with an organization called Feed the Hungry, which is based in Washington, D.C. And so we collaborate with this group. Okay. We raise the funds, like the Kona Visayan Club raised, I believe, over $25,000, and we built 3 classrooms. There is a severe shortage of classroom in the Philippines, and the Kona Visayan Club had 2 classrooms in Cebu and 1 classroom in Bohol. Okay. I also, with the help of some friends, was able to assist in organizing a sister city relationship between Hawaii County and a city in the Philippines called Ormoc in the south. Okay. So I'm not sure if you have read in the papers that there is a strong push for geothermal technology here. And the Philippines is #2 in the world in geothermal. So in that city relationship, we had Mayor Pinoy visit the Philippines to take a look at the geothermal facilities in the island of Leyte.
Well, thank you so much. So we are almost, wow, but we have more stuff to summarize before we go. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Maybe we should talk about some inspiration, and on how just like what you're saying, the people who are able to help, how how when they reach that point that they're ready to help, I mean, what kind of inspiration do you think you can give to them? Because I can feel, I mean, if I'm in your position, I would go and say, wow, I mean, I really wanted to help. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of Filipinos who are like working 3 jobs, and even if they want to, they have to help themselves first. So anyways, so what do you think? What would be a great inspiration to our fellow men out there who have reached the point that they can already help? What was your calling really when you said that, okay, I mean, you can easily go to the Caribbean and relax and not worry about anything, but you chose to help people. And so,
Well, I think the inspiration is the 2 great commandments, okay, which is to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, we have seen this in our very own saints, Saint Damien and Saint Marian Pope. So I guess Filipinos, being mostly Catholics, should take inspiration from the work of these 2 great saints from Hawaii.
Wow. That's good. Well, thank you for sharing that. So Lito, my God, the time is really flying away, and I want to make sure that you have time to tell everybody what you're trying to share in your ministry, and how people can help, how people can participate, and how the Filipino people can gather together, as one by doing like the good work that you already started.
Well, the needs are many in the Philippines and maybe throughout the state of Hawaii. We read the effects of the economic downturn on people. People losing jobs, losing their homes, and this is where those who are blessed in life can share their time, their talent, and their treasure to help these people who are badly in need, badly in need of things to survive. Okay. And there are many agencies within the state of Hawaii where they can give time, talent, and treasure to alleviate the needs of these people. So I'm sure Filipino Americans here in the state of Hawaii would like to see their compatriots, their kababayans pull together their resources and help Filipinos here locally in the state as well as those in the Philippines.
That is great. And we really wanted to thank you, Mr. Ilagan, for taking the time to speak with us for this new program. And I'm lucky to be a part of it and lucky to have known you. And that's it, my kababayans. Thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you in our next special guest. Aloha, kumusta po? And welcome to Pilipino Hawaii, our newest program here. And join me, Auntie Ilona, with our special guest, Jazz Iglesias. He is one of the best voices of Kappa Radio, and his involvement with the Filipino hip-hop community in California is getting bigger here in Hawaii. So he's here to share all the wonderful stories, everything Filipino and everything Hawaii. So let's hear from him. We are so honored to have you here, Jazz.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I wanted to start with asking you with your beginnings on radio. I mean, your challenges with the transition from the mainland, because we know that you came from the mainland.
Yeah. I actually, my story of how I came to Hawaii is I like to look at it as an actual true, was meant to be kind of thing. Yeah. I grew up in San Francisco, California, in the Mission District, and I grew up in the Filipino music scene over there. I was very instrumental in the hip hop community there in its beginnings, and I kind of came over here by chance. I am part Hawaiian too, and I came over here by chance, and things just kind of fell into place, and I never actually thought in a million years that I would be a radio DJ in any way, shape, or form. No.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then, so what happened in that break? I mean, can you tell us? I mean, because it's always inspirational. I mean, for everyone.
When I came here in '93, I was going through a divorce, and I was actually a meat cutter for Safeway. I managed meat departments for Safeway, and I was a musician there in California. And I actually had a record out. There wasn't CDs at that time. I had a record out. 1986 was my first record out on Imagine Records. So I'm actually, if I'm not mistaken, credited to be the first Pinoy rapper that was recorded.
Wow.
Ever, I believe,
Wow.
back in that day. And so I was a meat cutter by day, and I would perform at various music venues. I was a rapper. I learned how to produce at a very young age. I actually started my music career as a turntable DJ. I got on the turntables probably in about 1983, 1984, and in the Bay Area, in the Filipino community, that was kind of our thing. I think today, now times, it is still our thing. If you look at the hip hop community and the growth of hip hop through the various communities, whether it be New York, Los Angeles, to San Francisco, the Filipino communities in those areas are the ones that took the turntable to the highest that it can ever get, and why it's so big that it is today. So I actually started off DJing parties, and I have my older brothers and some of my older cousins are all kind of known musicians in California, and so I ended up getting a record deal at a very young age. And at that time, when I was in California, there was no market for me at the time. So coming out, I could sing, I could play instruments, and I could rap, I could dance. I was a great break dancer. And like I said, the music community wasn't ready for a small Filipino kid, at that time. So my project got shelved. So I got recorded, and I got played on the radio a couple of times. And the actual project got shelved because they didn't know how to market with me. I was under a management company called Bay Area Productions, who was manager of known artists like Tony, Too Short, and they didn't know what to do with me, so it got shelved. So my music dream kind of got shattered, and I stayed with the job at Safeway. And then going through a divorce, I kind of was going through some bad times, and I was with my mom one day, and I said, I think I'm going to go take a shot and maybe go head out to Hawaii. She said, why? I said, well, that's part of our roots too. My papa is part Hawaiian. And I said, I'm just going to go see. And so I didn't have any plans yet on how I was going to go. And maybe about a week later, after having this conversation with my mom, I get a call from Safeway in Manoa. And the manager over there tells me that they need me out in Hawaii. They see that I had Hawaii ties in California. And they were having management issues over here. So they sent me over here to help out with the Hilo store and help open the Kona store here. And so that's what brought me here to Hawaii. And I honestly thought I was going to work for Safeway for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Well, that is very, very inspirational. And what we really want everybody to hear with our fellow Filipinos and kababayans, were the fact that you said that, who knows that you're going to be what you are right now, but you kind of like went for it, and after that, you didn't stop. You shared your talent, you inspired a lot of people.